Alright, good morning. How's it going? Got a really cool adventure coming up here in the very near future. I am headed down to the Grand Canyon for 11 days on the river. So putting in at Lee's Ferry, pulling out at Diamond Creek, and this is going to be really special because I'm bringing the whole family's going. I got my wife, my 2 daughters, a bunch of friends. It's a private trip, and yeah, it's just going to be awesome. We're super excited. And for those of you that don't know, getting a permit on the Grand Canyon is no small feat. We've actually been applying with a group of other friends for the last probably about 4 or 5 years. I think when the girls were about 2 and 4 or something like that, we started applying for permits, and we finally got one. Our friend Billy got the permit, and we're going down. So yeah, we're really excited about that. And of course, I'm going to bring a ton of photography gear. It is an absolute mecca of photography down at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. What am I hoping to shoot? I'm hoping to shoot a bunch of landscapes. Hold on, motorcycle coming through. Oh, maybe he went the other way. The landscapes down there are really amazing. They're very different than what most people would think. I think you would assume you're going to be down in the depths of this hardcore desert, and it's just going to be dry, prickly desert with, you know, just the one river coming through. Not just the one river, but the Colorado River coming through. But it's not like that at all. There are so many magical little places tucked away in the Grand Canyon. Like places like Elves Chasm, Thunder Falls, Deer Creek, and a bunch of other places that will just blow you away. They are green, verdant little oases in the desert, complete with ferns and mist, and it's just really cool. So I'm really excited to photograph that. Of course, there's also all the boating action. We have a couple different boats going. We have a 37-foot motor rig, and that's what the kids will be on because it's very safe. For the most part, they're not going to flip. We're not putting any kids in the water at all. That's just not an option on the Grand Canyon. So we have a giant 37-foot motor rig that will be going down. We also have, and I'm not sure what the length is, but another snout boat that is also on motor. And then we also have a paddle boat that we will get in and play around in some of the bigger rapids in the paddle boat as well. So, oh, and then also some wildlife. There are desert bighorns down there, and I'm really hoping we get to see some desert bighorns. That's going to be really cool. And then, of course, there's also some natural history down there as well. There are a couple of Anasazi sites and pictographs, petroglyphs, all that kind of thing that are going to be down there as well. And our crew is going to be absolutely incredible. There are one gentleman that's going to be with us. Actually, there'll be 3 generations of one family that will be there, the Dale family, and he, I believe, has been down this river over 300 times. I could be wrong, I'm not sure exactly, but a lot. So the knowledge that these guys have of the river is going to be second to none. Okay, so what am I going to bring down for this adventure? The gear that I'm going to bring. Let's start with the camera. I'm going to have the Sony a7 III with me. That'll be kind of my main body. And I think that's going to be perfect for the Grand. I also have an A9 II, and that'll be kind of a game time decision. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring the A9 II or the a7 III. Who knows? Maybe I'll just bring both. And then for lenses, I have the Sigma, the 14-24. That's this one here. I'm going to have the 24-70. And I'm going to have the new 100-400. That's this one here. So all of these are part of the DG-DN lineup, meaning that they are all going to fit right on the Sony camera without any sort of adapters or anything. So that is my lens trio, and that's going to cover, that'll do all the landscape, all the wildlife, all the action photography, and even some astro, probably do a little bit of night photography as well. That'll be my main kit. I also will be bringing, just for around camp and whenever I just kind of want a smaller, lighter little rig, I'll bring the Sigma FP camera with me. And on that I have this sweet little 45 f2.8 lens. It's just a tiny little, awesome little lens. And that will just be for fun. picking up shots around camp, and I'll probably do some landscape with this one as well. Have fun with this. So the other fun thing that I just got too was this little underwater housing made by Outex. I just picked that up, bought that last week, and this little jobber is going to fit over the body of my cameras, and using a series of different lens ports and what's not, all these things here, I can attach this. All that stuff will go onto my camera, and I'll be able to shoot all the water scenes. So underwater stuff, while we're in the boat and waves are crashing over our heads and everyone's getting, you know, super wet in the big rapids, I'll be able to sit there and shoot and photograph that. So I have this big dome port here, which is really kind of cool looking. I don't know what that's doing to my face. Could be interesting. And this one is specifically for, well, for two things. One, for shooting with the 14-24, the super wide. It'll just sit right in here. And I'll show you a video what that looks like all put together as well. But this is also really good for shooting over shots, meaning you can see under the water what's going on and above the water what's going on at the same time. So that's what this is handy for. So that's going to be a cool new tool to use. Some of the other things I'll be bringing are, let's see, what else do I have in here? Oh, filters. I have a handful of different filters here from, I think I have an 8-stop neutral density. I have a couple of polarizing filters, which will be really handy when I'm shooting those landscapes in little places like Elb's Chasm and whatnot. So I have those screw-in filters. I also have a couple of new filters from Haida, and these little guys will go, these are rear mount filters, and these are for the 14-24. So those little guys will mount in the behind, not on the front of the lens, but behind the lens back here is where those will go. And I'll show you a little bit about that when we're actually shooting in the Grand Canyon. So that's what I have for filters. Of course, I have some cleaning stuff, a little rocket blaster, and some cleaning solution. Pretty mandatory down there. Oh, power. Power is going to be a big thing. So what am I going to bring for power? I have 2 power banks here, and these will get me a bunch of charges for both the cameras and the GoPro, which I'm shooting on now. So I've got these 2 power banks that will be really handy for powering gear, and then I also have a friend of mine lent me this. This is the Nomad, the Goal Zero solar panel. So I can plug that in and charge up the power bank with this. And it takes a while. I think he said it's 10 to 12 hours to get a full charge into the power bank, but that's actually not that bad. That should work just fine. We're going to have tons of sun there, so we should be able to get a handful of good charges out of the solar panel. And I am bringing a bunch of batteries too. I think I have 4 Sony batteries, 2 Sigma batteries, 3 GoPro batteries, which is still not enough for the GoPro. That thing, just the battery life is just not very good on those. What else am I gonna bring? Oh, tripod, of course. I'll bring my big Enduro tripod. This is an awesome tripod. This is my favorite one that I've ever had. And this is what I'm going to use. So this is the big boy, and I'm on a boat. I don't have to worry about hauling it around on my back like I would on a backpacking trip. So I'm going to bring my real big tripod, and that will rest nicely in here. All the camera gear will go into this pack. This is the Mindshift, what is this, the Trailscape 18 liter. So all this gear, all the camera gear will fit very nicely in this pack. And then I take this pack and drop it into this dry bag. So I put all the camera gear in here, take this, put it into the dry bag, and this is a really good dry bag. Nothing is getting through here. Once I seal it up, it's completely contained. It will be totally safe. So no Pelican case or hard case for this trip. I'm just going to keep everything right here. I'll probably be shooting a lot on the boat, so I'll probably have the camera in this little waterproof container, kit, whatever, quite a bit. And then as far as all that gear, when I'm not using it, that'll just sit in this little soft-sided case that I have, and that will also go into my dry bag. So that's about it for what I'm going to bring. I'm super excited about this trip. It's going to be awesome. The kids are going to have a great time. The photography is going to be great. We're going to be there during the what's known as the monsoon season, so we'll probably get some pretty intense storms from time to time, and we're really hoping to photograph some lightning while we're down in there. But yeah, it's just going to be a great photo adventure, and I'll be sure to film a bit while I'm down there and take a bunch of photos, obviously, and show you how it all goes. So anyhow, cheers.